Roll with the Fox show of 2025. As you know, the live questions take priority. So start asking away. We already have some?
Yes.
Good. The concept that I was going to go with, guys, is sort of attacking in combinations to make sure that if your initial attack is good enough, that no matter what happens, the guy either winds up in an inferior position or you get the submission. This is one of the most important aspects in Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu teaches a lot of things, not just about how technique, but also how to deal with problems and how to solve them. And one of the biggest issues that people miss, I think, in Jiu-Jitsu is the ability when things don't go according to plan is to transition those lemons into lemonade. So that is the concept that we're going to go with. Absent questions, what do we got?
We have
making background noise.
we have a question from Luke Tobin. Was wondering if you can get into more specifics about entries into the perpendicular guard, specifically off of split guard and the 2-on-1 on the head.
Yeah, that's a good question. Basically, a lot of times when I start to go into split guard, and what happens as I'm entering into split guard, this is potentially a problem. So PJ already, any guy worth sort of has been caught. So what a lot of times people do, they realize that it's going to be hard for them to strip the leg down. So what they do is they just come in forward and dive in. And that's what I'm looking for. So and this works both on the sort of when they're standing or whether they're on their knees. So as I start to put him into split guard and I feel he's diving in, what I'm going to do is control his posture. With the gi, I'm going to grab sort of the top of the gi, if without the gi, and as he's diving in, he's going to bring this leg in. I'm going to use to go into perpendicular guard. Ooh, that's all right. So this is sort of, it's a timing issue. For a long time, my guys sort of started to do anything to avoid the split guard, because split guard and Urigatame, which I consider part of the split guard sort of concept series, whatever you want to call it, to me is a very dangerous guard for the top guy. And people, once they sort of get subjected to it numerous times, they do anything to avoid it. So guys started to dive in on that attack. So basically, I start to move. As right now, you can't just dive in your upper body. You need to dive in your hips too. So go. As he's doing this, I'm already going to perpendicular guard. It's a very good transition. You need to kind of understand what is happening. So what he's doing is he cannot clear that foot. So either he just kind of dives his hip in sideways to try to get in. It's almost like they're willingly going into a closed guard. Again, I am not a fan of closed guard. In the gi, it's a little bit better because you have cross collar chokes, and you have some lapel chokes. But without, with NoGi, closed guard doesn't do a whole lot for you, other than allow you to kind of rest and maybe reset. So a lot of guys will probably dive into, especially in NoGi, to reset both the top and the bottom, and that's the time for you to take advantage of that. And the same thing if he's standing, and I start to do 2-on-1, as he's pulling in, I'm going into perpendicular guard. Now this time PJ actually withdrew his arm, so his right arm is basically out, which he's going to continue with that. He's going to pull it out, thinking that that I don't have anything, but guess what? I have a reverse triangle, which basically finishes him anyways. So again, if you don't have first of all, there's a lot of material on this on the app. If you don't have the app, guys, you should get it. You get 3 free days to play around with it, and if you like it, then you can subscribe. If you don't like it, you can get off. Anyways, also the BJJ fanatics, I have 4 of them. They all 4 of them bestsellers. 2 of them are rated 5.0 stars, and the other 2 4.9 stars. So they're good. There's 3+ hours in every one of them of technique. Pretty much, I downloaded everything I knew at that time to those videos. And there's a lot of talk about perpendicular guard. And again, it doesn't matter whether he withdraws that hand or not. Basically, if he doesn't, he's an armbar. If he does, then he's a reverse triangle. I don't really care. I care about one thing: controlling his posture.
We have a lot of Happy New Year's.
What's up, guys?
Nehema said this guard has changed his game forever. Reverse triangle the world.
Yes, let's do that.
We are ready to make some lemonade.
Okay.
We are quickly running out of time.
Oh, we're running out of time. All right, so one of the things, so guys, I've been really focusing last 3 years a lot on kind of making my game most efficient. What does that mean? Everybody wants an efficient game, right? What does that mean? What it means is whatever attack I choose, and I think, you know, my specialty, you know, I'm not a one trick. You know, if you ever felt the pressure, my pressure from the top, if you, like literally, I will pick a 300-pound guy in my class, to put him on the next biggest guy, say, okay, put your weight on, and then I get a weight, let me put my weight on. Who feels heavier? They always will vote for me. Maybe they're scared of me, or my pressure is really better than the big guy. But the point is, I really specialize a lot on sort of making sure that my game from the bottom is efficient, because to me, that's the most dangerous part of fighting, is being on the bottom, especially MMA or self-defense. And you need to be able to sort of transition that into a superior position or get a quick submission. Now, how do you do that, especially against skilled guys that know your game? One of the things is you need to kind of have, first of all, have a plan, but also kind of see the patterns, how the patterns evolve, because there are patterns. When you attack, so one of the sequences that I tend to use a lot is, for example, you got somebody in your guard and sort of I'm trying to get grips and and at some point the guy postures up a little bit and I hit him with a hip heist. As I'm hitting with a hip heist, if he prevails, I'm gonna wrap his head, and now I'm gonna go back into guillotine. The problem is, usually from the hip heist, your body positioning is off. It's not good. If I can get sort of side on positioning, I can finish the guillotine. But again, let's look at it. So we're, you know, and I just hit him with a hip heist. I wrap and I bring my hand in. Now, if I can adjust my angle, meaning I slide my butt to my right, I can finish the guillotine, but it doesn't matter because I have the ability to cement mix him this way. I have the ability, if he clears my legs, to cement mix him the other way. And also the ability to just hit him with a guillotine. This is what I'm talking about. No matter what his response is, I'm going to finish on top. So guys, I wish you a happy new year. May you always finish on top. And I will see you next week. But before we finish, one more thing, guys. So guys, I have a lot of camps planned through October. Right now, the tentative schedule, some of the dates have not been firmed up, but the tentative schedule is Costa Rica is February. That's sold out. In April, Puerto Rico, April 9th to 14th. If you have any questions on this, send an email to alia@silverfoxbjj.com. May, I'm going to be in California, Sacramento. June, I'm going to be in Czech, June 13th to 15th, camp. July, tentatively, I'm going to be Southern Germany with the Bushcamp brothers. And then August, we're going back to Italy. And then September, guys, epic trip is going to be Japan. This one's going to be expensive. Limit is going to be 12 people. That includes Aliyah and me, so 10 people left. Guys, but this is going to be like handpicked because we're going to have to rely on trains. We're going to be spending most of our time outside of Tokyo. I've been there multiple times and I know where I want to go. So I want to make sure that I don't have to babysit anybody. And then October, I'll probably go back to Holland. So I will see you next week.